Hi, in this lesson, we're going to take a look at formatting the page background. Now, there are lots of options for formatting a page background, but to find them all, we need to go to our Design tab. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on here on the Design tab, but we're going to come over here to the right, and you see this section, Page Background. And we have three buttons. Watermark, which we're not going to talk about in this lesson. That's another lesson for another day. We have Page Color and Page Borders. And yes, Page Color. You can give your page a background color. We click on the button, and we see our theme colors and also the standard color picker. And if we want one of these, let's go ahead, let's do a nice light blue, maybe more of a medium blue. How about something like that? You have a nice blue background to your page. Now, if you plan to print this page out and you want to use a lot of blue ink, go for it. But for online viewing, you may have a reason why you want to do this. We can also go ahead, and if we come down to more colors, you'll see we have our custom color picker, and there are a lot of different colors in here you can choose. You can pick whatever you want, pretty much. I think it's something like 16 million colors that you can make in here. Or you can go to the standard color picker and choose something in here. Let's pick a different blue. Let's do something a little bit more like that. Choose OK. And there we have a little bit of a brighter blue. And we can do that. Now, if you don't want any color, you can go ahead and select no color. And it takes us back to just a plain white background. Now, there is one more thing I want to show you with these page colors is if you choose black for your page color, you'll notice that the text automatically becomes white. This is an accessibility feature. This is something that's very useful for people with specific vision impairments. It makes it easier for them to read. This is a great feature. So beyond simply having a fun color to a page background, these page colors can be very helpful for accessibility. And of course, we can always go back to no color. Now, let's go ahead and under page color again, we're going to come down to fill effects. And we have a few things in here like gradient. Let's choose just a standard gradient like this. And it's using gray and white as my colors. And yeah, you know, it's there. I'm not advocating that you use that, but it is there if you need it. You can also go ahead and change the color. Again, let's pick a blue. And you know what? Let's make it two colors. And instead of the gray, maybe we'll go to white. Something like that. Yeah. You know, again, if you need it, it's there. If you don't worry about it. And again, there's different styles that you can choose. And you can always go back to no color. But that's not all we have under fill effects. Let's take a look at texture. There's a number of different textures here, and some of these have been around with Microsoft for a really long time. And maybe you want a nice wood grain background to your page. Or maybe not. Again, something like marble. Or maybe something like crumpled bag. Yeah, like I said, they're there. Not sure that you really ever want some of these. Let's go ahead now and take a look at patterns. Patterns, you can choose up to two colors. And let's do something like a bright blue. Oh, that's green. I'm sorry. Let's choose the blue. Maybe a background of a light gray. And you could do something like that. Yeah, I know. Maybe we try something simple like black and white. Maybe a little less vibrant. So again, you have all of these options. Whether you want to use them or not is up to you. Now let's take a look at page borders. There's some really nice options in here, actually. You see that none is what's selected. That's the default. But if we choose box, it makes a nice, simple box around our page. Very nice. It's a nice formal look, nice classic line. And you can change the style of the line. When I scroll through the style section, you see a lot of different options. Maybe something, where's the one I want? Simple like that. You can also change the color. Choose the color for your borders. You can change the size, the width of the border. Maybe you want something a little smaller, a little thinner. And you can always go back to none. You also have an option of a shadow border with a drop shadow, and I'm going to change my line color so it's a little bit easier to see the drop shadow. You can see it here on the right and on the bottom. If I make it a little bit bigger, it might be more obvious. Let's make it 3 points. There you go. Now you can really see that drop shadow. You can change to 3D. You can do a 3D line. And I know you're thinking, wow, that doesn't look like anything. The 3D, oh, it just gave me back to box. We have to go to none. Choose OK. We'll go to 3D. And let's try, oh, that's not what I want. What I want is a different style of line. Like this might work. Yeah, it's still very, very subtle. 3D in a two-dimensional plane like this is kind of hard to simulate. We'll go back to none. And last, we can do custom. Now, custom, you can create your own border style. We have different styles of line here, as we see. Let's go ahead and let's choose this one here. And when we look at our preview, we don't see that line. You saw the preview here every other time, but we have to assign that line where we want it, top and bottom, left and right. But what if I wanted to use a different style for left and right? Let's try this, a double line, and we'll make that left and right. So now if we choose OK, you see we have two different types of border lines. That's a custom line. You can also go ahead and, change the colors. And you have to apply those colors. So now the left and right are blue, and the top and bottom are black. And again, like we saw with everything else, you can go back to none. Now, there's one last thing I want to show you. We're going to come down to custom, and we're going to choose where it says art. There's a drop down, and there's a lot of different stylized borders that we can use. Like this one, stars. This is a fun one. I'm going to choose OK. And because these are all selected, it applies that border all the way around. Maybe I don't want to use the stars. Let's try something else. Let's try hearts. Let's do one more just for fun. Some of these I'm not even sure what they are. Let's see what this is. I'm not even sure. Oh, it's birds. Okay. So now you know a little bit more about formatting page backgrounds. That's it for this lesson. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.